can we confidently say now that Reverse 1999 is a good game? Welcome back to Corky Gachas, and in this video, I'm not going to make a guide, but rather I'm going to share my thoughts on Reverse 1999 thus far, because just today I found myself asking the question, hey, why am I playing this game so much? Am I really enjoying this game so much? Why did I not enjoy as much during the CBT and have certain considerations which I think now have been answered? So in this video, I'll try to share everything. I also like to hear your comments and your opinions in the comment section below. But the first thing I would like to talk about that I was really impressed by the team, Bluepark, is that they are really good at implementing the game for a global launch, be it in Japan, be it in Taiwan, as well as of course the global servers. They all launch at the same time, and for the global launch, I think they did a really good job that I did not expect them to do. First, have to talk about the QL changes when it comes to potentially tying to re-rolling, right? Because initially I was thinking this tutorial is way too long, 40 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes, depending on how fast you play, cannot skip at all. I thought that this would drive a lot of people crazy, especially the loyal re-rollers, and lo and behold, they did announce that the QL changes were being implemented from a later patch in CN server right to global launch. So this first thing already surprised me, but what more surprised me was that they announced an accelerated timeline. So one of my main concerns when I started playing CBT and I looked at CN, because I wanted to see if this game had a staying potential, this game had long-term potential for me to invest into it wholeheartedly. And from that end, when I was playing the CBT, I did not think it had what it took to be a long-term game, because the content-wise, it was really bare bones. It was just Limbo, and the events don't come that fast. Like from global launch, right, we only had Limbo until 1.1. That was like 42 days or a month plus just to have 1.1 in the game and the event in the game. So the first whole month, judging from CN server, I have already seen a lot of CN players saying that the game was too little content. And I do agree, because at that point during CBT, 1.4 haven't came out in CN server, there was no game modes other than Limbo as a long staying one, and events as a temporary game mode whereby you could go to YouTube. But other than that, there was nothing much in the game, right? There was no end game, so I was quite hesitant to say that I was confident it's going to be a long staying game. But of course, with the release of 1.4, we now know that they have huge plans, and with the boss raids, with the sandbox modes, and also with the accelerated timeline in global launch, the implementation meant that we are going to get a lot more content. You can even see people saying in the comment section below that, oh, I just barely started Limbo and then the event is coming, it's too much for me to do, right? But of course, people that are enjoying or rushing the game definitely would agree that it's good to have more content and to have an accelerated timeline to catch up to CN server in that way. So it was a really welcome surprise, and I felt that that really helped to retain a lot of players, because that was one of the main factors I see personally, that people would leave the game after just trying out the game first few days, maybe trying out Limbo. If they cleared Limbo, then they will probably just wait till the event. That's 1 month. Maybe they'll come back, maybe they'll not. But with the timeline being squashed so much, right? 1.1 came so fast. It's not even been 3 weeks and we've gotten 1.1. And with the release of 1.1, you guys can see for yourself how good the events are done, right? So I do think that the implementation wise for global server, it has been really great. The marketing as well, there was a lot of sponsored deals going on. Of course, they also offered me to do a sponsored video, but I did turn them down for my reasons. But regardless, I know that there was a lot of sponsorships going on. Everyone was being sponsored. So one way or the other, you're going to see this game pop up in your feed, be it in the ads, by your favorite YouTuber covering it, doing a sponsored stream, so on and forth. So I think the marketing, implementation, everything was great, and it really made me felt like this was a game that is going to promise us a lot of things in the future. And that brings me to my next point about how all of this implementation of the global changes, how the QL changes came about. I think it all stems back to the fact that they are very willing to take in customer feedback. In fact, just to give you guys some context, when this game first launched in CN, it has been blasted multiple times, and even in the events that you're seeing right now, 1.1 event, the initial story mode whereby you are supposed to farm this 14-3 to get all of the coins so that you are able to clear out the whole shop. To clear out the whole shop, you need to have farmed 14 full days, and even for free to play, even if you farm every single minute of your life away, you're not able to get enough stamina to actually clear out the shop. But with global launch, they did change it to 24 days instead, which is very, very surprising, but also you can consider it not surprising based on the fact that they have been implementing all these good changes. So they have been absorbing all the feedback and willing to admit that, oh, this was a mistake, let's change it for the future crowd, instead of saying, hey, we really implemented it this way in CN server, right? And the people just suck it up, right? Why not we just get the global players to suck it up? Why not we get the Japanese player or the Taiwanese player, all of them to suck it up? And instead, they implemented the changes, taking into account that, oh, this is something that we really need to improve. There's no reason why we should like alienate and make our free-to-play players feel bad when the CN players has already reflected that, hey, this is something that you guys need to really take note of. Otherwise, it feels bad for people not to clear the whole shop after farming every single minute of their life for the whole duration of the event, right? So that is also part of where customer feedback comes in, and I think they did a really good job. Not to mention, even before launch, when CN players were playing the CBT, they already had the Hoyo monetization method, which was the weapon banner, and they did scrape it completely, right, to say that, hey, let's not do it. It's probably going to make us look really bad, and we are not Hoyo. We can't really do it, right? Hoyo can probably do it and get away with it because they are such a big name that people are already used to it, to say that, hey, if you don't like it, then you can play other games, right? Can you find a high quality game like us? Probably not. So that is their leverage. And in fact, Bluepock did reflect and say that, hey, we are not Hoyo, this is our first game, let's do it right, we do it slow, let's not be cutthroat about our monetization, let's build some reputation. Potentially in the future, things might change, who knows, but as of now, I do think that they listen to customer feedback a lot, to the point that if they were to continue this trajectory, I think they will be one of the biggest players in the market along the ranks of Hoyo games, right? Definitely there is a chance if we continue to go down this path. Of course, they might turn to the capitalism side the next moment, the next patch in CN, who knows, but as of now, it seems pretty promising. I think we can all agree on that. And lastly, of course, since I've talked about monetization, I also want to talk a bit about my impressions as well as my thoughts about the overall monetization scheme, as well as the freebies that they have been giving for global server. And first, of course, monetization wise, I think that they are not the most generous when it comes to that, but to be fair, I also think that there is only very little things that is kinda gated, right? Because if you were to draw a character, you really need to have portraits. Not really. If I look at this game, I don't think it's necessary. I've spoken about it multiple times. The main thing that I feel is really problematic is the stamina, but with the global release, they actually did alleviate a lot of these problems with the freebies, the candy jars don't come cheap, guys. If you have been getting all your candy jars and been thinking, hey, my stamina is still not enough, I still need to farm for Insight 3, I still need to farm for Resonance, just think about what if there are no candy jars. One candy jar is equivalent to a bit more than one refill, so the amount of candy jars they have given is probably multiple, like 20 pools worth of candy jars already. So from that end, if they continue this path to giving out a lot of stamina to alleviate the problem of low stamina, whereby it's super grindy, a bit like Arknights. People did mention, I did not play Arknights, but they say that it's very similar when it comes to the grind. I feel that this should be fine. Monetization wise, it's not really that you have to buy anything, right? Although there are good characters like Tooth Fairy and Changling coming out in 1.2, potentially that might make a few people swipe. Even Doggo have made people swipe, and Millennia, I did pull for it as well. Potentially all of the pools will be dwindled down because at launch we are going to get a lot of pools, but after that the events actually don't give that much pool income, so that might be a problem from a monetization standpoint, but so far I think it's fair. And also with the addition of new game modes in CN server, I have seen that the pool income has slightly increased, of course necessarily, right? If you have more game modes and people participate in every single one, they're going to expect more rewards overall. So maybe in the future we'll be able to be not as particular about saving for certain banners. We don't have to take a PhD in banner saving to actually excel in getting the units that you want to form your favorite teams, right? So hopefully that is the case. The game is still very young. Even in CN server, it's less than a year, but so far I think the game does look promising, and we seem to have already escaped from the gacha gaming, Reddit gacha gaming doom posting era, whereby people have been doom posting about like the most hyped games, of course. And I think that overall the game is off to a great start. Now if you're watching this and you just joined the game, you saw that the 1.1 event is live, but you don't know what to prioritize, definitely check out this video I have over here. Anyways, let me know in the comment section below what are your thoughts. I'll see you guys over there. This is Cocky Gachas signing off.